Welcome on in, guys. Tobin here with you, and thanks for checking out the channel. It is a Monday down here in Miami, and about to be heading boots on the ground down to the Heat's house. And we will see if the Miami Heat can indeed get to what Erik Spoelstra is saying is the other side. I got to tell you, man, this season, it is interesting because with this year in particular, I was not prepared, not for the season to be a letdown with the Jimmy Butler breakup, but to have so many games strung along and have the rug pulled out from under you at the end of these games. Been painful. And the Heat's week ahead, they got the Charlotte Hornets, which is kind of like, it almost feels like a game that is of no consequence, because it's like you either win, it's like you better win. I won't say of no consequence. It's a game that is, if it's a win, it's TCB. If it's a loss, disaster. So it's a very low reward, but high risk, I guess is the way that I would put it. Then you got the Clippers on Wednesday, and then you got Boston on Friday before Memphis on Saturday. So that's your week ahead. And Erik Spoelstra sitting here, and he's talking about the team needs to face their demons. And it's time to wonder, what the hell does he mean by that? But this is what he said after the game about a breakthrough, where I was sitting there with my Army helmet. Then I go back and I listen to this, and I'm like, well, he's finally gotten off of the positive thing, but now he's talking about some mythological other side that the team has to get to.
We're all in this together. That's what I told the group right now. I'm fully with them. Everybody is this is an opportunity for all of us to face, our demons, to get past this. This is not something that's comfortable for any one of us. And I see something amazing on the other side, if we can collectively overcome this.
Wow. Wow. Look, man, I know it's been a tough year for Spo, and this is a guy that I got a lot of respect for. He's obviously a great coach. I'm just some dope who spouts into a microphone. But I got to tell you, he's had some doozies over the last 3 weeks. He's had some doozies. He's been going at this whole well of the positive things, and the positive things are going to be there. And now it's like, well, if we face our demons and we correct those things, something will be amazing on the other side. And I'm thinking to myself, Spo, there's 19 games left. Like, we're running out of time here, man. Like, I don't know when you expect this grand other side to be there. And not only are you running out of games just fully to play with, you're really running out of space to go catch up with guys. You're 6 games behind the 6th spot, so you're basically locked in unless the Detroit Pistons go on a friggin' tailspin. You're basically locked into the play-in. And now you're in this hodgepodge of Hawks, Magic, and Bulls. It's probably impossible. I would say it's impossible for the Miami Heat to fall out of the play-in and miss the playoffs completely. But if the Miami Heat are in that 9 spot, and you need the Miami Heat to win 2 games in a row against these opponents who we've already seen them have a very big handful with. Like, let's talk, like, Hawks, not been an easy task for the Heat. Magic, every one of these games has come down to the wire. Bulls have diced you up in the 4th quarter nonstop. So if you're asking the Miami Heat have to win 2 games in those, yeah, I think the Miami Heat could be in serious jeopardy of missing the playoffs. Facing your demons or not facing your demons. If they only have to win 1 out of 2, all right, probably an easier task. But if the Miami Heat don't get out of this 9 spot, you can face your demons all you want. But asking the Miami Heat that they got to win 2 play-in games, I think is a huge task, pathetically, for this Miami Heat team. And then you take on top of it the idea that you not only have to win those 2 games, but then you're on the side of, and by the way, we have to go beat Boston or Cleveland. I mean, these things just seem like hocus pocus. So I don't know what the amazing thing that he's talking about is. I really don't. This is typically, I've given him the benefit of the doubt in the past when he's talked about these things that you have to face. when you talk about demons that you have to face too, it's like, well, who is that? Who he's referring to? Is this been an idea? Because I will say, like, look, man, I was giving the benefit of the doubt to Tyler last week before the whole head cold thing happened, and wondering, like, well, where the hell is his 3-point shot gone? Where the hell is the efficient offense gone? Where is the good decision making gone? Because some of these numbers at the end of games are just, and decisions at the end of games are just mind numbing when you're watching it. And that possession that he had where Josh Giddey blocked his shot, and you're just thinking to yourself, my friggin' God, this is what it's going to come down to. You get the Miami Heat up 3, Hero blocked from behind by Josh Giddey, and Trey Jones just hits a 3 to tie it, and then just all the wheels fall off. And it just feels like every single time the Miami Heat, if you are at the point of truth, the turning point of the game, how many times is it just they've wilted and gone away? Somebody's mentioned, like, are they mentally weak? And I'm like, I don't know what to put mental strength up to this, but I will say they're not mentally tough. If you don't want to go as far as to say is they're mentally weak, is this a mentally strong team? I think the very obvious answer from this season is no. If you guys would have read in the Miami Herald, Anthony Chang, some of the numbers that they have for the Miami Heat: 16 losses with blown double-digit leads, second only to the Utah Jazz, who have 17. And just to remind everybody, the Utah Jazz have 15 wins on the season. On the season! They also kicked your the Heat's ass at home. Really ruined my son's first game in person. So there was that too. Awesome. But to have that many double-digit losses, I don't know. I mean, just to get chewed up and spit out the way that they did. It was interesting because it's like you had this past game against Chicago, and you've had a couple of games against Chicago, just can't stand in front of them. And then you had the game against Minnesota, which was, look, Minnesota's a good team record-wise, so you'll take a close loss to Minnesota. You'll be like, all right, you can live with that, but you had opportunities to put it away, and you just couldn't. And I don't know the demons that they face right now. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough not to feel like decision-making, mental decisions, mental strength, that these things play a part in where Miami's at. Anthony also right. Miami is not just 12-20 since January 2nd, but are outscored by an NBA worst 14.5 points per possession in the fourth quarter during that span. 12 of the Heat's 16 blown double-digit leads and 11 of its 14 blown fourth-quarter leads have come during this stretch. So basically, in the post-Jimmy Butler era this year, completely suspended away from the team. Not even just his post-trade, which has been even worse, but post-Jimmy Butler actually being a factor for your team, you have been amongst the worst teams in the fourth quarter. And a lot of that just feels like, does anybody on this team have the ability to grab these things? Is it Tyler Hero? Well, no. I mean, if you look at some of the numbers from him, this is from Ethan Skolnick. Him and Trae Young, Tyler Hero, Trae Young, tied for the most clutch field goal attempts in the NBA with 95. Of the 25 players with clutch attempts, Hero has the lowest shooting percentage at 28.4. Again, I think that Tyler Hero has a lot on his plate, but when you consider the defensive struggles, which were very obvious this last Chicago game about how much he got diced up defensively, the decision-making, and the lack of shot-making, and the way that his three-point shot has basically been, kaput over the last, 6 weeks we're almost at, 5 weeks. It's been noticeable. It's been noticeable. And this was supposed to be a year where, he took this challenge from Pat Riley. He responded in a big way. He has mostly been very available, just a few games missed. But now is the question of, all right, how can he hold up? Can he stand the wherewithal of everybody's trying to take you out? Now, what can you do with that? And how does Miami do that with facing its teams? And as far as Spo is concerned, look, I think there's been stubbornness on his point too, of knowing, what the right buttons to push are, what are the right guys to go to. He has his own demons to face. Took him long enough to get his 7'1" rookie out there. Give him a little bit of a break this last game just because you know that Kalel was on a bit of a minutes restriction, I guess, because of the knee sprain. However, it's not something that we haven't seen in the past with him too, of being very, very tentative to put Kalel back out there, and I just don't understand it. From Bam's standpoint, yeah, Bam is playing a lot better. He had his chances at the end of these games to have another significant bucket, and he couldn't. While his numbers are better, and he's had, maybe more of those moments and good overtimes and all that type of stuff, he still bears the criticism of it too because of where he's at. Andrew Wiggins, you're just kind of getting to know him. Like he had those moments in these games where it did feel like Wiggins had a response to you every single time you needed it. So that was a pretty good Andrew Wiggins game, but it is a little bit of it between the injuries and just the record being what it has been since the trade. It has felt empty. It has felt there has been an emptiness to it. So Miami's got to figure this stuff out, man. But I don't know if there's enough time to figure it out, to be honest with you, anymore. As much as I appreciate Spo, standing there and saying that they got to face their demons, how many more opportunities do you have to do that? Because if you win tonight, it's like you should. You got some good quality opponents coming on up with Memphis and Boston and the Clippers. These are all, strong teams with well over 500 records. But do you feel good about Miami's chances to win those 3 games? If Miami has a 2-2 week, that almost feels like a victory in itself with the Hornets game. If they could somehow come out of it 3-1, almost feels like a miracle at this point with how Miami's been playing basketball. And that's the unfortunate thing about it. So we'll see if they can get these demons faced. Couple of funny things that did go out there on social media, though. You did have, I don't know if you saw Kevin Garnett. Joker had a crazy game, a 30-20-20. And Kevin Garnett congratulated him on social media, but he tagged Nikola Jovic instead of Nikola Jokic. And Jovic posted on social media with it. He goes, "Appreciate it, my guy," with the salute emoji, which was just, I miss him so much. If you want to talk about somebody I really, really miss playing basketball, it's Nikola Jovic, dude. I miss Jovic, dude, playing some basketball. And then Kalel Ware was posting on social media, and he had these, he posted on his Instagram some throwback photos of Riley. I was kind of goosies. I was like, oh, the Kryptonian himself posting some photos of the Godfather back in his Showtime days, and I was like, look at the I miss tall time. I miss when those two are on the floor together. I miss playing the 3 bigs at one point. That has been severely disappointing since Nico got hurt. What was that? That was the Bucks game. Since Jovic got hurt, 3-5 overall since he broke his hand against the Bucks on February 23rd. So awesome, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we got to face our demons tonight and hope something is beautiful on the other side. That's what we have to do because Spo said so.